Next up, we have Jose D'Antonio. He's CEO of Biodiesel Las Americas, and he's producing biodiesel here in Florida. And as you saw, a big focus of our master plan, pathway one, is anybody who's using diesel right now really needs to think about why they are not using biodiesel. And Jose's the guy to help you answer that question. Well, why should you use it?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Ben. Before starting, I'd like to thank both TPO and Clean Fuel Coalition of the North. We are members of the one of the South, so we are located very close to Miami and Doral. But we are very in contact with you guys too, because we think on the state, not on the South only. And that's why we are here today. I would like also to thank the hosting FSCJ, correct? And actually, since we are in the automotive building or technologies building or department, there might be interest that we can do something in the future with you guys to bring some of our fuels so you can test in engines here, not only for the B20 as Ben was mentioning, but also as a B99 or B100, okay? I have a very short presentation. Okay, I also like the doctor at the left, I like to walk while I'm doing a presentation. Just a little bit of BDLA, Biodiesel Las Americas. A little bit of story. This is a company that I joined back in 2021, so only 3 years ago. But it was a former company named GGS Miami. Then the actual owners changed the name to Biodiesel Las Americas. And actually today we would like better to be called BDLA, because I know for commercial purposes or marketing, saying Biodiesel Las Americas in the US, I mean, it's like long, complicated, and BDLA resumes everything, I guess. By the way, Ben also mentioned me as an expert in biodiesel. I want to clarify that that's not really true. I know a little bit more than some of you guys here, but actually my background for almost 40 years is in the oil industry, which I am not against to, by the way, and to the petrochemical industry in Venezuela and Colombia. The plant was upgraded and automated. We ended the project last year and got all the permits to start operating. By the end of the year was kind of a complicated step, that one, with the city of Doral and the Miami-Dade County. However, they support us very much, but it was a long process. Our plant has a capacity to produce 7.5 million gallons a year of biodiesel, and as a sub-product of the process, we produce also glycerin, about 1 million gallons a year. Or we will, because we're just starting operating this the first quarter of this year, 2024. Just brief of our process. I know that I'm not coming here to give a chemical engineer speech or something similar. We have a degumming process where we take the oil, the used cooking oil, which is a very important matter to mention now. The plant is capable to process many feedstocks, starting from used cooking oil or grease or fat to soybean oil, for example, which will be a much more cleaner feedstock. However, we're trying to focus on used cooking oil because we think that that's a starting point to take waste from the environment. So it is not only producing a fuel that generates much less CO2 emissions, but also taking something that is a waste that needs to be disposed and that is highly contaminated in the water, for example. Okay? And I'm going to say something at the end regarding households or our houses. What do we do with the used cooking oil at home, which I know with all these changing food or healthy foods, we are not using as much oil as our parents, for example, but we're still using some. And probably as myself, we are not disposing that used cooking oil on a properly way, I'm sorry. But I'll talk to you about that later. So we go to this degumming process to clean the oil, to prepare the oil to be then esterified. The esterification process is to reduce the FFA content on the oil, which are the fatty acids, okay? After that, we do a transesterification using methanol and sodium methylate. In the esterification process, we also use methanol and sulfuric acid. Through the transesterification process is where we produce all biodiesel and glycerin, which are separated. And then after that, we just basically polish the biodiesel to have the specs as described in an ASTM protocol D6751. Apart from that, the plant has a glycerin purification process. We take the crude glycerin produced in the transesterification, and we elevate the quality of the glycerin to about 80% purity, which is not the high quality glycerin that you can use in the pharmaceutical or makeup industry, but it's also being consumed for other processes. Also, as methanol is the most used chemical in the process, and not the whole methanol reacts with the used cooking oil, we have a distillation tower where we recuperate part of that methanol and we recycle in the process. Hope that explanation was not that technical. Regarding the biodiesel itself, we have different types of blends. Let's say the norm or the minimum, it's a B5, which is the minimum blend that it's been used. And in some states, I'm not sure which, but some states I think it's not, I don't know if it's mandatory, but everybody's using that blend, which is not even disclosed to the client because it's not necessary. I mean, if you have 5% biodiesel in your diesel, you don't even know. Okay? I'm not sure in the US, in Florida, if that's happening or not. We are just studying. Then we move from B6 to B20. When reaching B20 is when a company that is burning B20 on an engine can say that it's using biofuel instead of just regular diesel. If you are below B20, you cannot say that, okay? And B20 is a good balance between cost and emissions and the image that I'm saying is regarding this, saying I'm using biofuel in my fleet, in my truck, or in my engine, in my generator. Obviously, what we would like is to move to a pure biodiesel framework. We already have some experiences from potential clients like Carnival that has tried with B99, is the way it's called because normally we blend with a little splash of diesel, but let's call it B100 for the presentation matters. And they have had no problems using B99 in their engines. However, the recommendation, not mandatory, but recommendation of manufacturers is up to B20, okay? How do we biodiesel improves or collaborates to the environment is trying to focus on this net zero by 2050, I'm sorry. Is efficient in its energy consumption. We go, as I said, from waste to energy by using used cooking oil. Obviously, the producers that are using soybean or other virgin oils are in a different cycle, but also are contributing in terms of the fuel. Promotes the circular economy. So you can have a company that is producing snacks, for example, Doritos or all that stuff, which obviously has a lot of used cooking oil, if that company would then take that used cooking oil and give it to a biodiesel processing company, they could be then sourcing their B20 to them, and you would have a circular economy. Okay, we're trying to do something like that with Carnival. We have been speaking with them about that. However, their UCO generation is smaller than obviously their fuel consumption. Also, Biodiesel Las Americas, we are responsible on any waste disposal. The only disposal we have is processed water, which is taken by a specialized company that treats the water and then disposes properly. And well, our safety and health standards equal our production and quality. Frequently asked questions. Does biodiesel affect the performance of your vehicle? What about engine warranty? And this is a discussion we can have for a long time. In terms of quality of biodiesel and if it's good or better or not for your engine, it is clear that the increased lubricity, the quality of biodiesel in terms of lubricity is better than regular diesel, has a higher cetane number. For those who know about diesel, you know that cetane number is the octane number for diesel that we have on gasoline, and obviously it generates much less fumes. Also, I have to say that due to the characteristics of biodiesel, biodiesel cleans your engine that it's been run with regular diesel for some time. Obviously, that's going to create at the beginning a problem with your filters, because you're going to have to change the filters a little bit more often at the beginning, but then afterwards, once clean, then it's going to be less. Regarding the warranty, it's always a discussion when we come to a meeting like this, but basically what we can say is that the engine manufacturer is not a fuel producer, so they cannot give a guarantee related to that, and they cannot void the guarantee either due to using biodiesel on any blend on your engine. Trying to make the state better, and one of the things that we have as a goal is process used cooking oil generated in Florida and sell all our biodiesel here in Florida too. The first part, we will do it. The second, it will depend on some of you, for example. This is, and you will have here the reference if you want to see it yourself on the computer. This is a calculator that was made by Chevron, okay, where you can put the quantity of biofuel that you are using to substitute X amount of regular diesel, and it will give you the metric tons of CO2 less that you are burning, or that you are, your emissions are going to the atmosphere. In the case of, we have used the 7.5 million gallon as a reference because it's the capacity of the plant. However, we have used different blends, from the 100 to the B5, and with these results. Just giving you a little bit about the strengths of the company itself. It's a fully automated plant. We are working to be certified TQ 9000, which is the, let's say, the ISO 9000 for biofuels. We are defined by the EPA Zero Waste Facility. And our production, as I mentioned several times already, it's from UCO. However, we have flexibility on feedstock to be used. We refine our glycerin. We are, as of today, the only producer of biodiesel in the state. We have a premium location due to our to be close to or nearby the port and rail tracks. However, I mean, we are a little bit away from you guys, about maybe 5 hours driving. And at the end of the road, I think the biodiesel is a clean fuel that could be of your interest if you want to improve the the carbon print that you're leaving in the planet. Thank you so much. The company statement that we have is from waste to energy, so from used cooking oil to biodiesel, trying to fuel the future. And if you want to get in contact with us, apart from, I'm going to give you cards at the end of the expo if you are looking for, you can see us in all these networks. Okay? Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please, I'm open to answer.